Are they one after the other? I can change them.
No, we have to also make them big too.
Okay, okay.
Cool, guys. Okay, we're kind of live.
We are?
Almost, yes.
Good evening, everybody. Hi.
Give it a few seconds for people to start
Give it a-
coming in. Oh, at least one viewer, right?
Yeah.
That's who you want.
Is that you, Miss Ark?
No, that's not me. Guys, please do log in on this. Don't just look at us. Please put it on. So you can see. Audience.
Can we see the setup for a second?
Yeah, show the audience.
Yeah,
today.
like what's
There's a lot of
happening.
audience here. Yay. So everybody's coming in. Yay, come on, cool. We have this is the audience of the day. She's our legal head here, and Anu does our copy. World Wide Web. So so people are coming in. Yay.
Meenakshi is here to make sure from the legal team that we don't do anything illegal.
Behind the camera is behind the camera we have no other than Trishella herself. So Umair, come. Oh, we have some repeat people today, which is great. So I think we can get started. Yay!
Although
cool.
I think we're like slightly late in
We are
rolling.
today?
Yeah.
Hello, Leon.
Or I think
Hello,
same
Umair,
time.
come on. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we're like 5:45.
Yeah.
The later actually the better because it's it's
Okay.
late. Hello, SK. Oh, Sana Khan.
Oh,
wow. Sana's getting her own initials. Hey, like SK.
Hi,
Hello,
people.
Ham. Welcome. Cool.
So good. We're back.
joining in.
We're back with This Also Happened.
Before we
as
even
you-
start, for people who are coming in,
Yeah,
I was
as-
gonna say that we're gonna have soon. She was just telling me that we can have this legal person come and talk about what issue? What's the issue?
Security petition on 377.
Okay.
Yeah, 377 curative petition. We are planning to get Justice Ajit Shah for this program. Stay tuned for the program. It's gonna happen next week.
Hopefully. Yes. Yeah.
And once we do
That's
that,
good. We're
perhaps
doing
we can
promos too.
we can do a special Periscope session for any people. I'm sure this is such a topic that everybody wants to know about it. There's so many people fighting for it, for rights. So it'll be interesting.
Just post a link. Because we're not, again, for some reason it's not showing up on our Twitter feed, right? So just put a link to the Periscope directly. Say, guys, we're live right now.
Yes.
And put the direct link to Periscope. I think 100%.
So how many people do we have by now?
13, 14 people joining us. So
Okay.
awesome. Welcome, Escape Me. Look, it starts building up.
Yeah,
so
welcome everybody. But yesterday,
13, 14. It's
yesterday we
nice.
had quite a few.
Thank you guys. People are saying this is awesome, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're getting hearts. Cool.
Okay, so
let's
let's
get
just
started. Good time.
So as some of you who've joined us today for the very first time, and I know you'll be many, and for people who are rejoining us, who've seen the previous broadcasts on Periscope, we're talking about the special segment which is called This Also Happened, which essentially, as the name suggests, that also signifies that something you might have missed. So this is a platform where we discuss those stories which are not the biggest of the biggest stories in each of these regions, but are definitely very important.
They're very big. It's just they're not
very
getting
big.
covered because
No, I'm
of
just
the
saying
popular.
that no,
Yes.
like the Nice terror attack happened. I'm saying it's not that kind of a story because those are already covered, right? These are stories which are worthy stories, but do not get that kind of importance.
Yes. And because
on the
big,
media platform.
what do we consider big? Because remember some of the stories we were doing about the environment where billions were being spent.
Yes.
Right? On
Anything related to human beings which concerns with their welfare, which is happening but which is not in the limelight, does not get covered in news enough. We are trying to focus on those particular areas because, come on, at the end of the day, we all get sick and tired of watching bomb blasts, terrorist attacks, negative stories. It's just very depressing to look at that all the time. So let's start with the first story. We always start with Afghanistan. We go in alphabetical order, and we're focusing on specific stories from South Asian region.
Yes. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have all of this in there, so go for it.
Yes, we do. The first story from Afghanistan talks about the Ministry of Higher Education. They said that no lawbreaker will be allowed to interfere in the registration process of scholarship programs which focus on girls. Now we all understand why girl child education is very important in countries like India, Afghanistan, Pakistan. There has to be more stress on educating the girls, and sometimes these lawbreakers, they come and they block these scholarship programs because of various reasons. They don't want women in their countries to be as empowered, I guess, and they don't fight really for girl child rights.
Right.
So that's it. These scholarships are being granted by the United States, and $16 million have been set aside by USAID to provide scholarships to these 900 girls to give them education. Now this is girls who've scored high marks, 150 to 180. That's what in the university. This scholarship is valid for them. They're encouraged to apply. So if you're in Afghanistan, if you're watching this Periscope, if you don't know about this, go find out more on the USAID website or read up about this program. It's very good. It's in collaboration with the Asia Foundation and the United States Agency for International Development. So I think it's a great step, isn't it, Ms.
It is, yeah. We have about, I think, 720 female students will be allowed to go to private universities.
And another 180.
Yes.
They'll be sent to Indian schools for their master's degrees. All in all, 900 girls.
900, yeah. I think a few days ago we did another story similar to this, right? From
It's
Afghanistan.
a follow-up of the same story.
So it's a follow-up. Okay, so the first few days ago when we did it, they were just coming to India. And it looks like now another country has joined, which is great.
Also, I think the Ministry of Higher Education has said that no lawbreaker will be allowed to interfere in this process, which is like a warning sort of from the government itself, which is good.
Nice.
So do we have a picture?
Yeah, we have a... if we can get the pictures a little more bigger on the side, you can actually zoom in.
No, I think the quality of this picture is not that great, so it's getting pixelated. Yeah.
What did it say about somebody? We missed someone's comment about education is empowering. We lost. Sorry, we missed it. We were zooming in. Write it again, please. Hi, Rushan. Welcome. Cool. What's up happening in Bangladesh, Anna?
Yeah, so guys, please do send in your comments, and Misaq, please keep a tab on who's writing what. Otherwise,
yes,
I'm
keeping my eye there. I'm so sorry. Gosh.
So something related to economics is happening in Bangladesh. What's happening there is that the country has been named one of the 10 emerging markets that are set to become new drivers of global growth, I think, for over the next 10 years. So it's great, I think, for a country like Bangladesh. They need to up their GDP rates. They need to, get their economy going somehow. The report also says that though there is impressive growth, the major potential is in the construction sector and the apparel sector. So apparel sector, like most of these clothes that we guys wear, which are in Gap stores or wherever, they have a made in India, made in Bangladesh, made in Pakistan, or made in China tag. So these are the 4 countries that are really driving the apparel market throughout the world. And Bangladesh is one of the key industries over there.
Yeah, I think we just answered your question. You're just asking what is global growth in what field. So I think we're talking textiles.
Yes.
Nice.
Global economic growth. Now, it doesn't matter which sector drives that, but the point is that whichever sector drives the growth, it is adding to the country's GDP. It is, taking them forward in terms of their economy.
Number, can I give the number? We'll add up.
What number?
The $4.3 trillion.
Yeah. So the countries, what countries? The total of all the 10 emerging markets, of which Bangladesh is one, they will add $4.3 trillion to the gross domestic product by the year 2025. So another 9 years. So obviously, investors are going to be looking at these countries now. So, which is really good for a country like Bangladesh. You remember when the terror attack happened recently in Bangladesh? There were reports coming out saying that it's going to affect the apparel industry, the market generally over there, because now people find it unsafe because a lot of Indians work there and their families were affected by that terror attack. So there was talk that will they come back or will they stay there? But I think with these kind of numbers, it is important.
Somebody writing in Russian. Sorry, we do not have a Russian to read at this time. So if you could write in English, it would be great. Other people in this list, which I just found out, are Pakistan is one country, and I was told that there was a few other South Asian countries in this list of top 10 global markets,
Right.
which
Was
is great
India
for
one of
South
them?
Asia. I'm not sure about India. I don't
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
But the others.
Because a couple of weeks ago, IMF,
But
which
we're
is
for
the
South Asia, so any of the
Yeah.
South Asian countries.
The International
is
Monetary
us.
Fund also came out with a report which mentioned, I think, 3 of the world's top economies, and
Yeah.
they were South Asian countries. I think this was Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India. So maybe this report kind of overlaps that data.
Yeah, we are. As somebody's asking if we're a newsroom. Yes, we are a newsroom. For those of us who are new today,
Yes.
the link was actually sent. You guys going interview or Q&A? Q&A with who? I'm not.
Asking if we're doing a Q&A or an interview, so we're doing a bulletin.
So yeah, this
It's a
is basically a
bulletin.
Periscope session,
Live.
and we welcome any questions from
We're
you
exploring
regarding any of
those.
these stories. And like we say every day, if you have good ideas, if you have good positive stories happening around you from any part of the world, you can send those story ideas to us, and we'll tell our reporters across
Right.
various countries to cover that story for us.
Somebody asked, what about Bhutan? Guess what? Bhutan is next.
Absolutely. Moving on to Bhutan, the Royal Bhutan Helicopter Services Limited takes the delivery of the second H-130. So this is a new helicopter which Bhutan has inducted into its fleet, and this comes equipped with a lot of good systems like the integrated tracking system, cargo sling. It's basically, I think, a passenger helicopter, and it's used for VIP and tourism flights. So this, because Bhutan is such a beautiful landscape, it's a beautiful country. So I think this is an integral part of their tourism sector, because you cannot you don't want to not see what Bhutan looks like. And a lot of people from Europe and Eastern Europe especially, and from across the world travel to these places, which, are just simply so beautiful. So this is in view, basically focusing on the tourism sector. So you can imagine that the kind of money that Bhutan spends on boosting its tourism sector, the revenues are bigger. The revenues are definitely much bigger.
Someone is asking who the manufacturer is. We'll find out and write it to you.
Of the
It
helicopter?
doesn't say here.
Yeah.
RBHSL.
No, that's the Royal Bhutan Helicopter
Okay.
Service Limited.
Right. We'll
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
out who it is.
Yeah,
So
I'm
let's
sure
look it up.
it could be one of those French
Yeah,
makers.
we'll look it up.
or,
We'll
yeah.
look it up and write it in for you guys.
Yes.
Cool.
That's
Is
right.
it a civilian or a military?
It's a passenger helicopter.
Okay,
It's not a
so
military helicopter.
People
Like
are
I
answering
said,
each other's questions, which is so cool.
yes.
Oh, you have it. Cool.
Quite colorful, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, somebody gave us hearts. They liked it. Yay.
Yeah.
Let's. So what's up in Nepal? I think Yay! They're giving us more hearts. because
Actually,
we found
there is one very important piece of information
sorry,
in this
but
news
please,
article.
please.
This H-130 has also been deployed for ferrying, for social causes like flying teachers to rural areas, where there is no accessibility,
Right.
which is a big problem in a terrain like Bhutan. So yeah, this is very good. Where there's no road connectivity, what do? You have to teach children. You fly the teachers and you teach them.
Right. There was I think, Ushan, your question was about the movie Sultan or the box office. I don't know if we have covered.
Airbus.
Huh?
It's Airbus.
It's Airbus.
Okay,
the
Airbus
company is Airbus.
manufacturer. Thank you,
we'll
Qatar.
look into it and that's it. Can you guys see the box office collection for Sultan? Somebody's asking. We'll let them know. Why not? When we get to India, we'll let
I
you know.
just know that it's way beyond 150 crores.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's done
cool.
really
We'll
well.
let you
I
know.
don't have the exact figures, but yeah.
Yeah, we have IMDb, guys. Look up Sultan's box office. Cool. So let's move on to Nepal.
Yes. So Nepal has this week received 6 billion rupees from the European Union. Now this is some kind of aid for Nepal EU Action for Recovery and Reconstruction. So this would help Nepal in rebuilding, whatever is lost, because we do know Nepal was ravaged with earthquakes earlier in 2015, was it? 2015, right?
Yes.
So yes, this is just aid coming in from various countries as part of the European Union. So after Brexit, of course, for now, Britain will be giving aid to Nepal, but after a year, who knows, maybe Britain will give it.
230
aid separately.
crores for Sultan.
Oh my God,
230
that's
crores.
huge. That's
Somebody
huge.
was asking, what is the weather like in Hong Kong? I think you can go to weather.com.
Yeah,
Ask
AccuWeather.
Google. That's fast. Let us explore the New Zealand ones of it, but where are they going to?
What?
People are some is commenting Nepal is getting a lot of aid.
Yes.
How are they spending it?
How are they spending it? Yeah, I think the government is using up all that money, and all the NGOs over there, they're distributing that money to the NGOs. I do not know exactly which NGOs are handling this, but some of the trusted NGOs by the government. So they're using the money to rebuild homes, build hospitals, schools for kids, whatever that has been lost due to the earthquake.
I was going to say, if you like, the person who asked us about the weather in Hong Kong, if you like us on Twitter, we will give you the weather in Hong Kong. We'll tweet you back with the weather in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Sure. Barter system. Going
I'm so
back
happy.
To the old age, right?
Old age. I'm so happy that today's news about Maldives is not about tourism.
Yeah,
Yay.
that's true. What is it about?
You're asking me? Go for it.
Yeah. So
education. That's what it's about.
Yes, another education story from Maldives. Now, this time Maldives has provided the opportunity for employees working in public schools to apply for an education scheme wherein they'll be allowed to study and get this, where they're studying and also being paid money as if they were getting paid while they were working as a salary. So it's like a win-win for anybody who wants to study in Maldives. So but the thing is that this seems to be like an introductory sort of a program. So for now, only 101 children will be eligible for this, and teachers, principals, school health assistants, counselors who have already been working in the country's education sector are also eligible for this scheme. So it's not just children, people who are already teachers, they can get specialized education as well. And they have some allotment system, like these many seats for people working in the government and these many seats for people who want to do masters. So that gets a little specific, but the overview is that 101 people will get to study for free, and they'll be paid stipend for getting these courses.
Cool.
Yes.
So good. Yeah, we're going to be coming on India in a little bit. We'll have the question for India soon. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a picture.
There's a picture. Now, also the last date for submitting entries is 1st of August. So if you are interested, if you're in Maldives, if you have anybody who is in Maldives who you think will benefit from this program, you should definitely let them know. And the deadline is just around the corner, 1st of August.
Nice. There is a few minutes delay as I saw it. If you see the video, there is a few minutes delay. So a lot of the questions which comes to us, it will take us a few seconds to respond.
Yes.
We're not responding. So good. Let's move on to Pakistan.
I think this is the best story, according to me, of the day. Which is the Punjab government in Lahore, which is in Pakistan. They've banned, employing children and adolescents for between the ages of 15 to 18 for anything that is not good for their health, for hazardous occupations and processes. Now, this is according to an article in their constitution, so which essentially a law is there, but now the government has officially banned that no child can be recruited into any kind of employment which is not good for their health, which poses a health hazard. So they have given conditions that an employer can make people work in so and so conditions. So this ordinance essentially protects children against any form of slavery or practices such as sale and trafficking, forced or compulsory labor, including forced or compulsory recruitment. So I think this is a very, very good step.
Yeah, because for those viewers, John, child labor is a major problem in this part of the world, in South Asia. So Pakistan has taken the first step to, somebody gave Pakistan the flag and a thumbs up or something.
Yeah.
So that's great for the government to step up and say, child labor is something that needs to end. Here you can see a kid working
as a mechanic.
And most of the time, it's great for children to learn work skills, I think, but
but not before they get their education.
Yeah,
right?
Somebody's saying what about child labor and hotels and things like that. And they're right, those things are still not banned.
Yes, they're not.
And it should be I think child labor
I think modern day slavery is a very big problem in countries like India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal. Very big problem, modern day slavery. And at least, we see one step in the right direction from Pakistan, and slowly, because this change happens over a period of time. It doesn't happen overnight. So I think this is a good step, and any person will have to fix a period of work. For an adolescent, they fix 3 hours, so you cannot make an adolescent work for more than 3 hours in a day. So I'm just saying this is the first step in the right direction. Of course, there's a long way to go for all of these countries.
But these steps are necessary.
Yes. This is just like a drop in the ocean for countries like India, Pakistan, but at least, it's something.
It is going towards something. You never know, Pakistan government only cares about the roads and buses. They're saying, well, they care about child here as well in this case.
Yes.
But you never know how things develop. So, for example, a few days ago we talked about the Afghan government sending a few female students to India, and now there was only 128 people. Now it increased to 900.
Yes.
Right? So I think as we focus more on these sort of...
Yeah. No, but 900 people, including people who are going to the US, 120 to India.
But a few days ago it was just India, I think.
Yes.
Now they added to the US as well.
Yeah.
So I mean...
So there are different programs, I'm sure. Every country has different programs.
No, what I'm saying is the development.
Yes, the
Like
development.
if they're encouraged, they're seen and they're talked about, just like here, perhaps they'll do more and more of that.
Yes, that's true.
So,
Moving on to Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka Ports Authority, they've launched a special health program. They want a dengue-free port to eradicate mosquito-borne diseases. Now we all know that in this part of the world, there are several diseases like, dengue, which are... People die. You have dengue. It's sometimes there's no medicine. We all know there's no cure for dengue. So you just have to maintain the platelet count, and sometimes it gets really out of hand, and people end up dying. So Sri Lanka, because it's a port, a lot of fishing industry, so there are a lot of mosquitoes around the area. So the government has taken this step to raise awareness and to perhaps get rid of the extra mosquitoes by spraying anti-mosquito repellent medicine, around the ports. So this is quite a good development.
nice.
They already say that predictable mosquito breeding places were destroyed by the SLPA, which is the Sri Lanka Ports Authority. So this is a good development.
Okay. That disease is kind of deadly. Right?
It is. That's what I
It just
said.
kills you within a few hours.
Yeah, it can kill you within a few hours, and there is no medicine for dengue.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now moving on to our last but not
Last.
least, now India.
Yeah.
Someone says now India.
Yes.
It's not about Sultan passing the 2 crore.
Yes, it's
But-
about an IIT Kharagpur graduate, Abhinav Verma, who's done an amazing thing. Now, what he's done is he's invented.
Okay, 1 second, we're getting a little too loud.
Yes,
Guys,
there's a
we're
lot of
trying-
ambience noise
ambience
coming
is
in.
going a little bit
Yeah,
loud.
it's an active newsroom. It's a buzzing newsroom, guys. That's what happens.
It is, that's what happens. When things are
So,
happening, there's noise on.
Abhinav Verma from IIT Kharagpur, he's created a device which is very small, very light, and if you're blind, it can help you immensely. How? If you have that device on you, let's say I cannot see, I have this device on me and I'm walking on the road, it will help me move in an unrestricted manner. If there's a blockage, if there's a man in front of me and I'm walking, it'll show me. I'll be able to sense. I think a voice is there within it, which tells me, okay, there's this person in front of you, or there's a sharp object in front of you. It'll identify the texture, the weight of the obstacle which is in front of you, and warn the person that whether it's okay for you to step ahead or not. So essentially, it's called Live Braille or Live Braille. I think Live Braille makes more sense.
Will it beep or vibrate? They're asking. It may vibrate. Yes. So,
Yeah.
so that you can show it in the hand. This is how it's going to
It's
look
like a ring.
The device is going to send out ultrasonic pulses, basically.
So it is a vibration.
Yes. So
It's just 29 grams.
Nice.
yeah, very light and very small object. So it'll let the person know of any obstacles, and they can move freely and faster. all the blind people. It's great.
That's wonderful. That could be used throughout the world.
That's right.
And it looks like a very small device.
It is. It's this yellow finger clip sort of a thing, Live braille. The punchline is simply incredible.
Guys, are we tweeting this guy and telling him we're talking about?
Yes, Abhinav Verma.
Well, you were doing it. How will the device sense the obstruction?
How will the device sense? I'm sure he's built in a code in it. This is technical stuff, guys. I'm not very good at it. I don't have
4 meters. Yeah.
So I'm not well versed with the details, but you can talk to Abhinav Verma. He's an IIT Kharagpur graduate.
We could even actually ask that question on Twitter.
Yes.
What the both guys handle. So like this person is asking how will this
so we can get these two people connected and we can
the
have a
audience connected
conversation.
with the creator. You got it? Cool.
That's
we'll
right.
do that.
So that's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
Are we doing like awesome things every day? Like every day we're learning something
Yes,
different, like what we
absolutely.
can do. Today we learned how to
Absolutely.
connect the audience,
Yes.
plus many other things.
So how many people are there today?
A lot. We'll see
lot?
once we cut it off, we'll
Okay.
know how many more live viewers we have.
So I hope this was a nice, stimulating Periscope session for all you guys. You got to know new things about what's happening in South Asia, and we hope to join you tomorrow again with amazing stories in This Also Happened. Stay tuned till then. Watch out for us. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye.
Yay.